sleepy little town of Paterson in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales is redolent with early history. Many lovely old buildings still remain. The oldest is the Presbyterian Church, built prior to 1845. Paterson was once a river port, but the coming of the railway and usable highways did away with the picturesque riverboats. The finest local property is the 5,000 acres of Tocal. The homestead was built in 1839. Early this century, the property was acquired by Charles B. Alexander, whose nieces, the Misses Curtis, still reside at Tocal Homestead. Some of the outbuildings date back to 1830. Through the activities of Mr. E.A. Hunt, law agent for the Presbyterian Church, the Alexander benefaction was secured from the Equity Court for the purposes of establishing an agricultural college. The situation was most suitable for this purpose, with abundant surrounding broad acres. Incidentally, Tocal is an Aboriginal term meaning ducks aplenty. Work on the new building started in January 1964. The aim of the architects, Ian Mackay and Philip Cox, was to make the buildings a harmonious unity with the site. Requirements of the College Council, the potentialities of local materials and traditional methods of construction determined the basic terms of reference for design. This is very much in the tradition of the earlier buildings at Tocal Homestead, where they seem so much a part of their environment. Timber, locally cut and erected with a minimum of preparation. Brush box, tallow wood and ironbark came from within a few miles of Tocal. Structural timbers received a coating consisting of wax creosote and oils. The dining hall was a first priority during construction. All roof members are exposed to view on the inside of the buildings. A covered way links the buildings together around the main quadrangle, forming a massive, low, deeply fenestrated composition. These 9-inch desapped and barked columns are important elements in the design of the college. Though machinery had its applications in the building of the college, what remains is the mark of man and not of the machine. Above, a sometimes tenuous pattern of timbers grows in its complexity. These timbers, like most of the flooring, are of brush box. Soon the assembly hall began to rise above the other buildings. These bolsters, to support the roof of the hall, have a vague resemblance to Easter Island sculptures. The bolsters, each a ton in weight, were hewn into shape on the site with an adze, an efficient technique practiced over thousands of years and one of the crafts active in the Hunter Valley. With the brickwork of the hall completed, the roof trusses await the next stage in construction. Forming the axis of the entire complex of buildings is the chapel. On completion, it will have a spire 130 feet high. At this stage, the superstructure is taking shape. Philip Cox, the architect mainly responsible for the buildings, and the Reverend Douglas Cole, a member of the College Council. Students' bedrooms and bathrooms were completed. Work proceeded on houses for the staff. These too, in their design, follow the massive, deeply fenestrated lines of the main block. This growing complex of buildings became part of the everyday experience of the foundation students who were accepted on the 1st of March 1965. Spreading out a drawing on the steel union, which is to carry the cross on the steeple of the chapel, is Ian Mackay of Mackay and Cox Architects. The drawing is an elevation of the chapel. This spire, towering above the quadrangle, will be a unique landmark. Except for the metal ties and plates, it will be timber frame structure, built entirely of tallow wood. A large crane was needed to complete this frame, and the pieces were gradually integrated like parts of a giant puzzle to form a stimulating pattern against the sky. These men are carpenters, craftsmen engaged on a complex of buildings which receive for the architects the great honor of the Sir John Sulman Award and the Blackett Prize. The interior of the spire will be open to view from the floor of the chapel, and light will be admitted so that the pattern of soaring timbers can be appreciated. Attaching a shackle to the last and topmost section of the king post. This has the steel union, which will carry the cross at the crest of the steeple. And the topmost branch of this man-made tree slips into place. A tree erected by man to the glory of God. The cross on the spire gleams high above the quadrangle. All that remains to be completed is the fitting of glass in the windows near the top. Getting the glass into position requires great care. The last few tiles are laid. The Vice Principal, George McFarlane, and Philip Cox, the architect, make a last-minute inspection. Look aloft almost anywhere at Tocal and behold one of its chief glories, the pattern of beams and rafters, mainly of blackbutt. The attic of the Great Hall, and underneath a radial pattern of beams forming a breathtaking composition studded with lights. The king post of the chapel is suspended over a marble plaque on the floor, which was quarried at Alice Springs, a gift of a friend of Tocal. The Bible. And communion table, behind which hangs a tapestry specially woven for the college. The central theme of the tapestry is Isaiah's vision of peace. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. Final jobs are completed, ready for opening day. On November 6th, 1965, the Right Honourable Sir Robert Menzies, Prime Minister of Australia, and Dame Patty Menzies, incidentally both Presbyterians, arrived for the opening ceremony. They were introduced to the Misses Curtis and the Moderator General at Tocal Homestead, where they were entertained for lunch. Afterwards, a short drive to the new college for the official opening by the Prime Minister and the dedication of the chapel by the Right Reverend William Young, the Moderator General of the church. Sir Robert and Dame Patty were officially received at the entrance to the college by the chairman, Mr. E.A. Hunt, and other dignitaries. In the Assembly Hall, Sir Robert proceeded to declare the college open.
And this is good, because I'm one of those who believes that when generation after generation of boys go through a place of learning, whether it's an agricultural college or a university or whatever it may be, it's a good thing for them to have memories of duty to take with them during their lives. This is one of the civilizing things in life, of great importance to the individuals of whom, at the moment, we see the first 15, who will come through here, who will be made good citizens as well as good farmers as well as good students and good practical people of a scientific bent. And this is to the good of Australia, and it will do me a world of good to be able to remember it. I declare, is this right? Yes. I'm never too sure about this bit. I declare this college open.
After the ceremony, guests inspected the college, whose crest is based on the early Christian sign symbolizing the cross and the resurrection, and also P for Presbyterian, A for Alexander and Agriculture, and C for College. The Bank of New South Wales has an agency situated within the college to facilitate banking for the students. Meals for staff and students are provided in a well-equipped modern dining room. An appetite is standard equipment amongst Tocal lads, and breakfast has enthusiastic takers. The dairy instructor lectures on artificial insemination. Breeding is, of course, only one of the many subjects. These include farm management, water conservation, marketing, economic strategy, soil science, forestry, and many practical and scientific subjects useful to a young man for his future on the land. This lad is weighing a seed sample in the laboratory. The curriculum includes introductory chemistry and microbiology. Many forms of indoor recreation are provided. A large and comprehensive library is being established. Outdoors, one of the most popular chores is the rigging of irrigation pipes. And every young man likes to drive a tractor, irrespective of the job to be done. Fresh horses, new stables, new boys starting a new life in a new school. A college in which a living tradition of craftsmanship and husbandry has brought together the best that rural civilization and a Christian society has to offer. Ancillary buildings surrounding the college all conform with the basic design. The dairy, hay shed, poultry shed, and piggery. The chief object of the college is to train young men for their future life on the land, accent being placed on the cattle industry. As the Prime Minister emphasized, to close the present gap between knowledge and application. Here at Tocal, with an ancient motto indicating that a good farmer is a good man, the youth of today and tomorrow will merge into manhood beneath this great Christian symbol.